What is up, my Krakatugas? Welcome to another Clash video, and today I want to show you a deck that I have been undefeated on in Clash for a little bit now, and it's the deck that I got my first ever top with in Elestrals back in the Kickstarter era, Krakatuga Burn. Yes, we're so back. It's like we never left. This is a fire artifact version of the deck. I've really been enjoying this a lot. I think that it is really solid for laddering with. You just steal games out of nowhere because burn is, it's kind of cringe, yeah, but you win games with it. And there's been a lot of games where I look at a board state and like, yeah, I can deal like minimum 5, maybe 8 damage this turn. And my opponent, it's late game, they have no back row. So I just go, all right, GG. Krakatuga itself represents 5 damage. With Eruption in hand, it represents 8 plus a card pop. So if that back row is something like a Shield of Achilles, you kind of just swing in for big damage. And a lot of the time, you kind of just lock your opponent out of being do big plays, particularly with something like Bear Bomb being big in the meta. This kind of just says if you use it, because most of these Bear Bomb decks are more frost heavy than fire. So you kind of just say, all right, yeah, you can prep to do your Bear Bomb, but I'm going to rush your spirits down so quick that it's not going to matter. So I do kind of want to walk through the deck just a little bit more than some other videos. One thing that I do want to point out, I'm only playing 2 Viscerus. This is just something I'm trying. Trying cutting the new Firestorm Viscerus. It feels pretty bad to draw a lot of the time, and I want cards in this deck to all the time to draw. Bomia is one that I'm playing around with. It's felt good sometimes. It's not felt great other times. Because Spectaris isn't super big on ladder or in the metagame either. It's been fine. Same thing with the original Galaxy. It's actually come up quite a bit. Making it really big inside the meter has been something that has come up quite frequently. You'll notice I'm only playing 2 Eruption. That's just kind of like a deck space thing. I really would like to play a 3rd. It might be like we cut one of the No Stone on turn and we play 1, but also No Stone is a really good way of being able to search not only Krakatuga, but also the Lavalith in deck. And so I really like that as sort of a flexible spot that can kind of get out to your really big game in pieces. But maybe we only really need 1 of it. There's a lot here to play around with. The deck is built really good. And if we look here, I am 7-0 with it currently. We'll see if it stays after recording this video. I have a feeling that I'm going to finally make a video and then I'm going to finally lose. But I wanted to kind of get that win rate up a good bit and be like, yeah, this deck's very real. So let's go ahead, let's hop into a game and let's see how we do. Wouldn't be a Clash recording with Caleb without me having a game-breaking bug that means I lose. So my undefeated streak is now over. Shout out to that. We'll go, this is a good hand though. Good to start with. Go Smoltuga. We'll get out the full carry here. There's always an argument to get like but I think that carry is a solid option. You can just like set shield probably. I don't think we need to commit both of these. And just alright, they got an Astrabbit. I kind of expected that on it. Name a better turn 1 than an Astrabbit. I think that we can just respond with Galaxy. There's an argument to like hold it, and we maybe do just go Valkyries anyway, just to like really make this back row be something still. No, I like holding the Smoltuga because it means that we can turn Galaxy into a really strong out to back row, and No Stone is a really solid draw, honestly. I'm happy to see that. We will just go for full carries. We get Hephaestus, and then Hephaestus will search the Torch of Hestia, and that'll let us out this Astrabbit, unless this is a Gorgon's Gaze exactly right now. Poison Tipped Arrow. That change anything about the turn? Yes, it does. Still get Hephaestus. There's no reason to commit any more resources, though. The reality is that like anything interacts with Valkyrie here to stop this from going through. The main thing is I really want them to, and I think this is actually best outcome for us here. We don't deal with the rabbit, but like I don't really care that much about it. I got the Festus, and honestly, that's a really big thing. Able to guarantee that we are set up. There is a world where we go No Stone next turn for Krakatuga and Eruption to burn them for 3. We can burn them for 6 on the turn and also pop a card, and then potentially switch for 2. And we got 2 back row to back it up. And it depends on what kind of turn they have here on what we want to do. And it's really tempting, honestly, to do a big turn like that. It would be 6 out of me to then get 6 out of them, plus a pop, and then potentially a swing for 2 more. Popping an Aeolus is also really tempting. I'm so curious as to what we're gonna get out here. P-Gust? Sure, yeah, go for it. If I draw a Viscerus here, so happy. Go P-Gust. Yeah. That's totally fine by me. Please don't set any back row. That would be so funny. Hitting the shield, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna waste really. That's fine by me. No sets. You will have no set. Do not set a back row. You will have no set. Okay, we might go Galaxy here then, just to pressure this really hard. 2 set. 2 sets can contest. But you know, Volcaries is also a really good way. I think we still go Galaxy. It deals with both and could force them to use 2 different back row pieces. I think I am very content to do that. It's like, if it's Gorgon's Gaze who's hitting Volcaries anyway, potentially, they might hit it to prevent the search. They already got a search through though, or I already got a search through though, so they probably would just stop an attack. And Volcaries would only out one of these, and I would like to try and out both of them. Really thinking about responses. Poison tipped arrow is so big. Yeah. All right, that's huge. Whale arrow question mark will arrive. And boom. All right, so that back row has to be nothing. There is nothing, I think, that interacts with what we're about to do. They can shield the Astrabbit, I think, is a big target here, just because it's big defense. If they really want to protect this P-Gust, I don't really care if they re-enchant and then pop the Gorgon Gate, because there's a world where I just Gorgons it anyway, because then it could crash, and I don't want that. Altar of Stars. Altar of Stars would swap Smoltuga, pop my back row. I think I will Gorgon. Do I do it off Galaxy? What? What? I'm actually resolving Gorgon's Gaze. What happened? Okay, that's cool. It just told me that I wasn't going to get to activate it. That happened. Flash moment. That's okay. I still think that we're in a really good position regardless. Because we are up 7, 8 spirits on them. But that is kind of awkward. Is what it is. They have to out the Smoltuga here. They don't have an Aeolus search. Actually, that maybe letting the Ultra through regardless is correct. Now they don't have an Aeolus search. They blew through a lot of back row there. Volcary's next turn, I think, does a lot. There's a world where we just like play out any artifact to eruption them. Smoltuga is costly. I think I lava lift them. Whoa, okay. Island of Aeolian. Sure, yeah. Yeah, this will be a painful turn for us, but like, okay, we take 2 spirits, and then we're gonna no stone for lava lift, pop island, hit over Sorlet, and like, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Tsunami's a really good draw. We'll go no stone. We go search out lava lift. We're gonna pop island, not crack. Yeah, I would love to play a crack right now, but not at the moment. So lava lift, cast attack. I think the island of Aeolia. There's a world where we hit over P-Gust, but I don't think that's right. We do damage here, puts them at 6. That's tsunami. I could put them to 3 this turn, honestly, but I like holding the Eruption and just kind of killing out of nowhere potential. This is a very expensive deck that they're playing, so I do wonder if Milker here is just trying to get a, enchant the board with Wind Challenge done. With all of these Wind Spirits flying around everywhere. That definitely happens. You're like, oh, I gotta do 15. I'm just gonna slam it on board. There's an Astrabbit. Astrabbit's fine by me. Next turn we can go Volcaries. Volcaries, Hephaestus, search, hit over both of these Elestrals, clear their board. If we really want to, we can like Volcaries, Hephaestus, search a 2-cost artifact to Eruption for free, which is kind of cute. I kind of like that as an option here, because we clear even without an artifact, empowering the Volcaries. It might be good to still do it just to make sure that the rabbit dies regardless. And one back row would I be worried about here? I don't think there's a lot. Second Volcaries is a little annoying, but that's okay. We've seen all 3 this game. That's why some of my decks only play 2. Definitely a consideration. Thought about putting Echolinks in this deck based off kind of how the deck already looked. And that could definitely be a slot as a possible carry for deck. There's a handful of cards that I've thought about putting into this, like I've mentioned the third eruption, stuff like that. We'll just put a singular one on this. I think we will just go for Torch. And we'll just set up to next turn, kill out of nowhere if they play the game basically. We'll go Torch of Hestia, put it on carry, fire Underworld. Now we get to board clear here. Yep, go battle phase. First things first. I'm the realist. Opponent has something. I mean, that back row is something. I don't think we've had a response window thus far, so that might be a Shield of Achilles, which it is. We don't mind that really. Paying off a P-Gust makes sense. I think I'm gonna hit over the rabbit regardless here, because I do not care if they enchant P-Gust. Galaxy is a solid. Viscerus is absolutely going to top. 1, 2, 3, reverse order, and now we will Bobolith over the rabbit. And then next turn, if they spend even Spirit, game's over. They've locked it in. That's the beauty of just having the Eruption in hand, is just being able to. All right, there goes a lot of your spirits. The one thing that this deck does struggle with is oh, we're expending to draw. Okay. Definitely struggle with just like working on the artifacts. That is the fire artifact. No, I didn't get a room for game. That's fine. That's fine. And so that's the deck. I really have been enjoying this. Krakatuga is something that has always been close to my heart, just from it being the first deck that I ever got a top with, my first ever top 4 as well. And it's really cool to be able to play it again. It really is something that doesn't do super well in best of 3, just because once your opponent knows to play around it, it becomes a lot harder to just snag wins out of nowhere. It was cool that we won that game even without Eruption. It shows that like it is something that can help you eke out wins in this deck, but it isn't an end-all be-all where you're only winning by like cheesing games. It is just a solid deck without it. It has a lot of flexibility, which is really cool. I really like the Earth package. I'm definitely considering like Foamy maybe going down, putting in Echolinks, mentioned Volcaries, taking one out for an Echolinks. There's just some other cool cards that can fit into this deck really well. And you could definitely take this and kind of swap it to be more Earth focused, really like Krakatuga. That's definitely an option. I don't think Krakatuga is as good as Krakatuga, but it is absolutely an option for you. And I really think that this is an interesting option for the current paper gameplay, where I'm thinking about trying out a game 1 Krakatuga deck that then goes in Fire Artifact Wasp Ivy stuff that I also made a video about. Sometime recently, check that out if you're interested. But a lot of the cards are very similar between the two. And so I think that there hasn't been a lot of like smokescreen, like full side out decks that people are playing. I think it's a really interesting thing to try out that pivots between a couple different game plans and gives you some flexibility, because once people know about Krakatuga, it's a lot harder to play play a deck like this. And so I really like the idea of having that pivot potential. Something I'll be trying out. And man, I really like this deck. It's a really fun game plan. It's fairly consistent. I mean, the fact that the only loss I've had so far was today, and it was because the game would not let me change a Viscerus to attack position for an entire like 5 turns basically. That was a lot of turns where I could have been getting damage in and pressuring my opponent a lot more and getting other Viscerus on board. But this deck is really strong. I think it's a really solid option for a best of 4 format. Highly recommend trying it out and play around with some of the ratios, play around with some of the cards. There's some of the artifacts where like Scythe Demeanor is really strong, but sometimes it can feel bad to have more than 2 artifacts in the deck, even with Valkyries. Valkyries at 3 sometimes can feel awkward. There's a lot of things you can change around here. Feel free to try it out. Let me know what you think. And let me know in the comments below if there's any decks that you're interested in seeing try out. I've been really enjoying going on ladder and playing a bunch of different wacky decks, and not just playing the same thing over and over and over again, because we're near the end of a format. It get kind of exhausting to play 5s, play just good stuff tempo decks. So I'm really trying to find some interesting try out. If you've got any ideas, throw them my way. I'd love to try out some stuff. But with that, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to use code NOTS if you buy anything in the Elestrals Clash shop. And if you're interested in getting anything from the shop elestrals.com website, we have a link down below that helps us out whenever you purchase that link. We appreciate it so much. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.